Good day, viewers, and welcome to another episode of Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. Here, we bring you the news, events, and stories abounding in the state system. ATN's appetite for in-depth, unbiased, and factual reportage is the driving principle for this program, in order to bring reports of the government to the doorstep of the people. We'll go through the headlines of today's reports. In the headlines, police Army nabs oil thieves in River State. Gunmen kidnap businessman. Abuja will look different by 2027, says Wike. Police dismiss officer in fatal shooting. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll go straight to the details of the stories. Stay with us. Welcome back, and now we dive into the details for today. Nigerian Army has announced the arrest of 35 suspected oil thieves accused of operating illegal refineries and breaking into pipelines to siphon crude oil across 4 Niger Delta states. Spokesman of the Nigerian Army, 6th Division, Port Harcourt, Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma, disclosed this in a statement that the states in Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, and Rivers. Danjuma also noted that troops destroyed 58 illegal artisanal refineries and seized about 11,200 liters of stolen crude and about 335,000 liters of adulterated diesel during the raids. According to him, in Akwa Ibom, troops achieved notable success, smashing 34 illegal refining sites and arresting 27 suspects across various communities. He added that items seized included 215,000 liters of adulterated diesel, 19 wooden boats, 9 vehicles, and 20 nylon bags used to store petroleum products. Danjuma added that at least 7 wooden boats were confiscated and 3 vandals were arrested during the raids in Ekeremo, Nimbe, Southern Ijaw, and Yenugua local government areas. In a different story, tragedy struck when gunmen suspected to be kidnappers abducted one Sonny Onoenze, a businessman, and shot dead Samuel Kere, a father of 4 children, at an estate in Army Range axis of Igboeche in Eche local government area of River State. ATN gathered that the kidnapped victim, Mr. Onoenze, deals on scrap metals in Mile 3 building material markets, while Mr. Okere, the dead victim, is a generator mechanic who hails from Ofe community in Omoma local government area in River State. In a telephone interview with journalists, Ms. Peace Uluaku Samuel, wife of the dead victim, Samuel Okere, confirmed the reports. We also gathered that the incident was later reported to Umubele Police Division in Igboeche in charge of the area, and the core of the deceased was taken to an undisclosed mortuary in his palace, Omoma local government. Meanwhile, the River State Police Command was yet to respond to inquiries by our reporter on the incident. As at press time, we gathered that the suspected kidnappers had established contact with the family of the kidnapped victim, Mr. Sonny Onoenze. Analysts have stated that the State House of Assembly has roles to play in decision-making because they are true representatives of the people. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Open Conversation, political analyst George Azunda Chinda believes that for a budget to have legal effect, it must pass through due process.
A budget to have that legal effect, it must pass through stages. You know, the assembly, that's the legislature, have a role to play because they are the true representative of the people. So when the executive form the budget, they take to the assembly.
According to the analyst, Rivers State governor encompasses not just the executive, but also the legislature and judiciary, where each arm of government plays a distinctive role and responsibility. Therefore, the executive trying to usurp the legislative powers is wrong.
So the government is not just about the executive. The government is both the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary coming together to form a government. All of them have their distinct roles and responsibilities. So the executive should not usurp the powers of the legislature. You are presented to someone who the law has said this person was never a speaker. You can't put something on nothing. You cannot stand.
Recall that the Rivers State government has stated that there is no going back on the implementation of the 2024 budget, adding that it is too late for it to be represented before any authority. In Akwa Ibom State, the National Orientation Agency has commenced a sensitization exercise to educate the people on the prevalence and prevention of Mpox disease in the state. This is coming as a report from the Ministry of Health indicated that Akwa Ibom State has recorded 8 cases of the monkeypox outbreak. The agency's coordinator in the state, Mpotum, stated that while interacting with newsmen on activities of the agency in Uyo, the state capital, on Monday. Mpotum stated that the agency's staff has been dispatched to the affected councils since last week after receiving instructions from the ministry in the state, while noting that in Ona local government area alone, about 6 people were affected by the disease in one house. Mpotum called on the people of the state to report any such cases to the nearest medical center for treatment. He disclosed that the affected persons have been quarantined, while contact tracing is still going on the state. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us and stay connected with us on our socials: Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network; Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1; and X, formerly known as Twitter, Atlantic TV/net; on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Now to the rest of the stories, where Police Inspector Joseph Ozonwanji, formerly of the Anti-Cultism Police Squad in Enugu State, has been arraigned and remanded in prison custody for the murder of Igbo organ musician Okeze Mwamba, also known as Iboja. Ozonwanji was arraigned on Monday on 1-count charge bordering on the murder of a former administrative magistrate, Enugu East Magistrate Court, Ngozi Edeni. This development comes after Ozonwanji's orderly room trial, which led to his dismissal, was approved by Assistant Inspector General of the Police, Godwin Agbolo, who was Zone 13. The prosecution is being led by the officer in charge of the Enugu State Police Command, Justice Atta and Emmanuel Ozogu. In charge, Ozonwanji was accused of unlawfully killing Mwamba by firing him with an AK-47 rifle, an offense that is punishable under Section 274, subsection 1 of the Criminal Code Cap 30, Volume 2, revised laws of the Enugu State of Nigeria 2024. Briefing newsmen after the arraignment, Officer Enugu State Police Command, DSP Daniel Ndupe, said the accused arraignment for murder was in keeping with the promise and determination of the state government and the police to ensure that justice was done in the matter. Ogun State government, through the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, has suspended the teacher who punished Monday Ario and SS2 students of Obada Grammar School, Obada, in Ideme. Ario died on Friday at the Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta, after a teacher allegedly flogged him and asked him to pay 62 for jobs. The teacher was reported taking a trash can to Ario's class and told the pupils not to break it. But the deceased replied the teacher, saying the dustbin was bought with the student's money. Ario, who was flogged and punished because of his response, collapsed. Following the incident, the state government, in a post on its X handle, The teacher has been arrested and the principal of the school, Ms. Tamrat Onaulo, was queried for allowing corporal punishment to be used on pupil against the assessment rules and regulations in the state. Meanwhile, the state chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Secondary Schools, Felix Agbeshanwa, in a statement, said the deceased was not the only one punished. Agbeshanwa explained that the whole class was beaten and Ario, on regaining consciousness, said he was involved in a bike accident prior to the time he was punished. Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, has ordered an immediate clampdown on all illegal garages in the state. In a statement on Monday, Abiodun stated that the operations of these garages are not only illegal but also exploit commuters, drivers, and other citizens through exorbitant charges and unexplained levies, especially at a time when the state government is striving to reduce transportation fares. The governor's orders followed an intervention by the State Task Force on Environmental Compliance and Enforcement, led by Chairman Alhaji Farouk Akin Tunde, which shut down 2 illegal garages at the NNC Junction and closed the June 12 call center in Abeokuta for constituting environmental nuisances and operating illegally on roadsides. Aside from exploiting commuters, these garages pose security risks to residents as they serve as hideouts for criminals, often operating from shanties and makeshift structures. Abiodun also urged residents to refrain from patronizing illegal garages and instead use government-recognized facilities as well as board government CNG buses for more affordable and comfortable transportation. Nigerian Medical Association in Ondo has stated that one of the ways to curb the brain drain plaguing the health sector in the country is through the implementation of a salary structure and a consolidated medical salary structure across all healthcare levels. While expressing concern about the mass exodus of health workers from the country, the chairman of NMA in the state, Dr. Olumoyiwa Alonge, described the syndrome as a consequence of a system that has failed to offer fair compensation and career fulfillment. According to Alonge, while speaking with journalists on Monday, during a press conference to herald the annual Physicians Week in the state, when healthcare professionals are remunerated fairly and equitably, they feel valued and respected, thus strengthening their commitment and dedication to patient care. The theme of the week was tagged Ensuring Universal Applicability in Remuneration, a panacea to talent retention in the healthcare system. And sub-themes included mitigating the impact of infectious diseases, addressing the monkeypox outbreak and beyond, as well as early detection of cancer and current trends in the management of breast cancer. Alonge urged all levels of government to ensure the uniform implementation of our salary structure, the consolidated medical salary structure across all healthcare levels. You're watching Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll get to more of the stories. Stay with us.
The people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents stranded and fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged, with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops cut off from food, clean drinking water, and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats, and high-riding trucks capable of navigating the treacherous, waterlogged areas are urgently required to reach the countless men, women, and children still awaiting rescue. The Nigerian media is issuing a desperate plea to the government, humanitarian organizations, international actors, and citizens across the nation. Step in now, before it's too late. For more information on how you can help, contact Professor Usman A. Tar, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Borno State, on 0809-233-3955. Every second counts.
This is powered by Atlantic Television Network.
Welcome back to Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has deployed Mr. Gyama Gyawiu as the new commandant of the Gombe State Command. Buhari Saad, the Public Relations Officer, NSCDC Command, said this in a statement on Monday in Gombe State. Saad said that Gyawiu took over from Mr. Mohammed Muazu, who had been promoted to an Assistant Commandant General by the Commandant General, Dr. Ahmed Audi. According to him, Muazu has been deployed to the NSCDC headquarters in Abuja. He said Gyawiu was transferred to Gombe from Ebonyi State, and he would serve as the 13th commandant in the state. The command spokesperson said that the NSCDC remained committed to maintaining law and order and the safety of citizens in the state. Court of Appeal sitting in Sokoto has affirmed its early judgment regarding the illegal dethronement of the 19th Emir of Gwandu, Alhaji Al-Mustafa Haruna Jakolo. Presiding Judge Justice Eboy Tobi confirmed the court's previous ruling and dismissed the appeal filed by the Kebbi State government, citing a lack of merit. Justice Tobi expressed satisfaction with the earlier judgment passed by Justice Abbas Aman of the Kebbi State High Court, stating that the deposition of the 19th Emir was contrary to the law and did not follow due process. The judge declared the dethronement of Jakolo null and void, noting that he was not given a fair opportunity to defend himself against the allegations made against him, infringing upon his fundamental human rights as a citizen. Jakolo was dethroned as Emir of Gwandu by the Kebbi State government in June 2005 under former Governor Muhammadu Adamu Aleru's administration. Justice Tobi reaffirmed the decision made by Justice Abbas Aman, emphasizing that the deposition was unlawful and that due process was not adhered to. Mustafa Jakolo, a former military officer and aide-de-camp to former head of state Major General Muhammad Buhari, retired, ascended to the throne of Gwandu Emirate in July 1995, shortly after retiring from the Nigerian army. He became the 19th Emir following the death of his father, Alhaji Haruna al-Rashid. Just Magistrates Court on Monday sentenced a 25-year-old security guard, Lucky Bulus, to 18 months prison for stealing 350 liters of diesel. The magistrate, Shawomi Bokos, and sentenced Bulus after he pleaded guilty to the charge. Bokos, in his judgment, ordered the convict to pay an option of spend 6 months in prison and a compensation of 150,000 naira or another year in jail in default. Earlier, the prosecutor, Inspector Labaran Ahmed, told the court that the case was October the 2nd at the area command metropolitan station by one Simon Diko, the complainant. Ahmed said that the conviction of diesel valued at 437,500 naira at the company where he worked as a security guard. He said that the offense contravened the Plateau State Penal Code law. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Citizenship and Leadership, Rinsola Abiola, has charged young Nigerians to explore initiatives and programs established by the President Tinubu to promote education, youth empowerment, and leadership development. She gave the charge while speaking to the maiden Next Generation engagement at the Coronation Hall in Kano. The Next Generation project is a design of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Citizenship and Leadership to promote civic education and youth leadership development in partnership with the National Orientation Agency. In her address to the audience of senior secondary school students, she emphasized that the renewed hope agenda of the President Tinubu's administration was aware of the importance of education as the key to developing the young ones for a more prosperous future, has introduced several support initiatives to provide them access to education. She admonished them to become active citizens who fulfill their civic obligations once they come of age and participate in community development efforts. The SSA also urged the youth to utilize internet and social media responsibly, with focus to using them to access greater opportunities and greater learning experiences. Dele Alake, Minister of Solid Minerals Development, says the federal government has arrested 3 Chinese nationals and 2 Nigerians for illegal mining in Nasarawa State. In a statement by Segun Tomori, the Minister's Special Assistant on Media, on Monday in Abuja, Alake said the suspects were arrested at an illegal mining site in Rafin Gabas, Agwada, located in Kokona local government area. The minister said the company involved started operations in 2021, resulting in significant revenue losses in the federal government. According to Alake, the ministry's mining marshals set up to safeguard mining sites across the country carried out the arrest based on credible intelligence. Quoting him, the suspects were arrested for mining without lawful authorization. Some of the minerals being mined include fluorides, zinc, lead, and tin, Alake said. The arrested suspect confessed to having been on illicit activities at the site spanning 5 cadastral units since December 15, 2021. The company defied all lawful advice to regularize their activities and continued siphoning the nation's resources, causing significant revenue losses to the federal government. Alake confirmed over 200 illegal miners have been arrested so far, with about 140 undergoing prosecution nationwide. On September 16, Dele Oyewale, spokesperson of the EFCC, said the anti-graft agency arrested 5 Chinese nationals for alleged illegal mining in Ndito, Eka Iba local government, in Obionu local government area of Akwa Ibom State. The EFCC apprehended the suspects during operations carried out in August and September for illegal mining. The House of Representatives Committee on Solid Minerals said Nigeria loses $9 billion yearly due to illegal mining. 19 Northern governors and traditional rulers from the north, led by Sultan of Sokoto and other critical stakeholders, have converged on the Sir Kashim Ibrahim House, Kaduna, on Monday to deliberate on issues affecting the region. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the meeting, which had in attendance the Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Wabin Musa and other military officers, Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya of Govt State and Chairman Northern State Governors Forum, said they are collectively supported by the ongoing challenges faced by the Northern region. NSGF Chairman Inuwa Yahaya leads Northern governors, traditional rulers in urgent talks on power outage and regional challenges. The NSGF, under the leadership of Governor Inuwa Yahaya, is focused on charting a unified agenda to enhance regional cooperation and development, leveraging the North's resources to promote long-term development. Governor Inuwa Yahaya has been engaging with stakeholders across multiple sectors to implement actionable strategies for addressing security challenges and concerns which are disrupting agricultural productivity and driving up food prices in the region. In the aftermath of the ministerial deadline given to beggars and scavengers to quit the Federal Capital Territory, a joint detachment of security personnel on Monday rounded up 34 persons made up of 15 beggars and 19 scavengers. The administration said it would take those arrested to its rehabilitation center for vocational training, while those who are unwilling to learn any skill will be taken back to their various states. The operations drew personnel from the police, military, Department of State Services, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, and other paramilitary agencies. Commissioner of Police in the FCT, Olatunji Dusu, has described the operation as a national assignment, also addressed the operatives along with other heads of security agencies, directing that officers involved in enforcement must be professional, but uncompromising in carrying out their ministerial orders. On his part, Director of Security in the FCT administration, Adamu Gwari, said the operations would be conducted day and night in order to achieve the desired results. Represented by Dr. Peter Olumuji, the director said the first day of operations had 4 groups. We have the Metro, which is the city center. We have the Airport Road that covers the entire airport roads from City Gates up until Bill Clinton's Road. We also have Kubwa Axis that covers the Kubwa, Garimpa up to Dede. And we have last group that covers Asokoro Baitama, Aya, Nyaya, Karu, and Jikoyi. All those will be carried out simultaneously. Ministry of the Federal Capital Territory FCT, Mr. Yesom Wike, said Abuja will look different by the time the President Bola Tinubu finishes his first tenure in 2027. He said this is due to monumental infrastructural development. Wike stated this at the inauguration of the upgrading of War College, Army Checkpoint Road, and other ancillary roads in Ushafa, Buhari Area Council, Abuja on Monday. He said that as far as infrastructure was concerned, by the time his administration ends in 2027, Abuja would be completely different. He said that beyond infrastructural development in the city, the area councils were also being transformed, with more than 15 projects currently ongoing. The minister, who listed the projects and were confirmed by the area council chairman, added that 3 other projects would be inaugurated for construction in satellite towns. Quoting him, "When I came on board, I did say that under Tinubu's administration, when he makes a promise, all you need to do is to be patient. That promise will be fulfilled. I have said before that politics is a covenant between those that are elected and those that elected them. I have said that people should hold those that they have elected accountable. Those who have been appointed should be held accountable," Wike said. Still in the FCT, Police Command has arrested a lawmaker for assaulting a driver in the nation's capital. Police spokesperson for the command, Josephine Ade, confirmed that Alex Mascot Ikweche is at the Maitama police station undergoing questioning. In a statement on Monday, the command said the driver, Stephen Abuwa-Seya, reported the matter to the command. The command said the Commissioner of Police in the FCT, Olatunji Dusu, has mandated a thorough investigation into the matter. He added that the command is committed to conducting an impartial investigation and ensuring justice in all cases. Upon completion of the investigation, appropriate legal action will be taken. The Nigerian incident followed a similar one in the United Kingdom when the lawmaker Mike Amesbro was captured in footage appearing to show him punching a man to the ground and then continuing to attack him. Federal universities across the country were shut down in Federal universities across the country were shut down in compliance with the indefinite strike action by the Joint Action Committee of the Non-Academic Staff Union in Educational and Associated Institutions and the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Universities. On Sunday night, SANU and NASU vowed to indefinitely shut down all university activities across the country starting on Monday until the federal government paid the 4 months withheld salaries. A statement made available to newsmen on Sunday and signed by the national president of SANU, Mohammed Ibrahim, and the General Secretary of NASU, Peters Adeyemi, said the ultimatum it gave to the federal government over its withheld salaries expired on Sunday midnight, and that the unions were demanding, amongst others, the payment of 4-month withheld salaries, improved remuneration and allowances, and implementation of the 2009 agreement with the federal government. The government had, through the Ministry of Labour and Employment, invoked the no work, no pay policy when the 4 university-based unions embarked on a prolonged strike in 2022. Last October, President Bola Tinubu directed payment of 4 of the 8 months withheld salaries for the academic staff union. It was finally paid in February. The directive was silent about the non-teaching staff, raising concerns as to their fate, a development the union describes as selective. More on that later. In a different story, the federal government says it will soon establish a command and control center to check irregular migration into the country. Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, disclosed this at the induction ceremony of operational officers of the Command and Control Center for Regular Migration. On her part, Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service NIS, Kemi Nandap, said 123 officers and men who scaled through rigorous fundamental trainings were selected to work on the center. Deputy Comptroller General in charge of the border management, Dr. M.C. Dike, said the center has the capacity to drive the API and PNR, which are critical tools in modernizing times used for analyzing and harvesting information of persons of interest before they take off. He explained that it is a new technology in border management which gives us opportunity to create capacity, effectiveness, and align with international best practices. Federal government on Monday pleaded with states that have not started implementing the 70,000 naira minimum wage to start payment immediately. Secretary to the government describing the implementation as complete and uncompromising. Commenting on the level of the administration's commitment to implementation of the new wage, he said, quite frankly, the federal government is totally committed to this fully. There is no half measure about this at all. It's full. The SGF said that President Bola Tinubu prioritized the new minimum wage issue early in his administration, establishing a tripartite committee to examine all aspects of wage adjustment. This committee included representatives from the federal government, state governments, state governors, and the organized private sector, resulting on a new wage standard. Analysts have opined that the action is for self-reliance, but wondered why Nigeria as a country does not adhere to the educational policies. Public affairs analyst Frank Ogwo Onunu made the comment when he appeared as a guest on Atlantic Television Network program Atlantic Blowout.
I will not stand and say this. It's not a scam. But I will also look at what the youths are saying. Education is not a scam. But when we look at what is happening today, let me tell you, I wrote my junior WAEC. When the federal government of Nigeria introduced junior WAEC, they told us who were to write junior WAEC as of that time that if you can't further your education, sorry, I must say it because, you see, education is for self-reliance. We have what we call policy on education. But are we following as a nation? I am an educationist. Are we following the policy of education? Education? Are we following? To my informed mind, the answer is no as a nation. Sorry.
We're not following.
The analyst further insisted that although education is not a scam, but policies of the federal government should encourage schooling.
That if you are able to get junior WAEC certificate, then you can get, if you cannot afford that, but not everyone can go to Royal WAEC. Sometimes people drop out before even going to SS3. Government complain Nigerians why they introduce junior WAEC. People are paying for junior WAEC as in terms of a professional exam. And in the end, nothing is being talked about junior WAEC now in terms of using it for employment. Are you aware? So if somebody says junior WAEC is a scam, is it wrong? Sorry, because I have written junior WAEC.
This comes as the presidency charged Nigerian youths to do away with the notion that school is a scam, urging them to explore initiatives and programs put in place by President Bola Tinubu to promote education, youth empowerment and leadership development. And this is where we call it a wrap on this edition of Government and Public Service Report on Atlantic Television Network in the great city of Port Harcourt. I'm King David Obasi, thank you so far for staying with us. Connect with us on our socials, Facebook and YouTube Atlantic